Obviously, you can tell the sun's is killer, right? But it's very directional right now, and I like that because I can use that as a halo, as a separation light. Now here's the thing with that is that, so the first thing here while she's getting changed is, let's go over camera settings. The number one thing is really consistency. You want continuity throughout the whole work. You want things to be stapled down so that it doesn't move from shot to shot to shot, and that's why you shoot manual mode, is for that control. Now the physical placement of the light is important here because the lighting here, we have the rim light up here, which our baseline is set for, and it may be too dark, it may be too bright, I don't know, we'll see in a minute once they both come together. We'll look at that in just a second. That's never gonna work. It's always gonna look cheap, it's always gonna look flashy, it's not gonna look professional. See, look at this, this is really cool. So you can see she's just already popping out of that frame. Wow. If you draw a line through the center of that light and you continue it, the problem is that all of her is facing that same direction, and that's not what we want to do. And here's why. When you drop that chin, it builds that intensity in the eyes. That's awesome. Now I'm going to take this shot. It's wrong. There's one other thing that I want to change, but I'm going to shoot it so I can show it, and then we're going to change it. Stay like that. So that's before, and then here's after. Oh yeah. Hard shadow line around her knee area. Yeah. I would keep it there and up. I would keep it contained so there's zero distraction, because the problem is that if you include the highlights on the ground, it takes away from the sharp contrast we've created from the waist up. Exceed the building so that you're not introducing any highlights. The thing that I think about the most is that I want the cleanest possible shot with zero distraction. There are no highlights. There is no sliver of pathway. There's no stray sun on the ground, and there's nothing else for the viewer to look at other than the pretty model. And then you get pumped up thinking that these are all amazing shots, not realizing there's really still a lot of opportunity there. But this is a way to change it up a little bit so that it doesn't all look completely the same. Turn your face more this direction like that, see that? There it is. That's the good side, we got that nice, yeah, so it looks like we got you in that moment. So it's not so posed. This is in the literature, when I said ways to make the pose appear not so posed, it's like, it's all or nothing. So I would either do just that doorway right there, no pipe, no awning, no nothing, clip that in, however far you got to get to make that happen. Or instead of compensating with the aperture, when you adjust the aperture, you're affecting both the ambient light
that's why
and the light in the back. So it's the same light, all we're doing is changing the modifier. So I wanted you in here first to see what I'm doing. So the light is more intense, less intense, less intense, less as we go down this hallway, right? There's a lot of dead space above her head. It just, either because of the focal length or whatever it is. Sun now is the worst. That's the whole point. This is high noon, give or take, right? So, but we can make that awesome. So now we're gonna control this. So this is really a 3-light setup. You have the ambient light, you have this, which is being lit by the sun, that becomes the base in the camera. Bright as hell, we know it's 100 ISO, that ain't gonna change. So the only metric here is the white balance and the aperture value. And actually, it's not nearly as bad as you might think. Its problem, horizontal. Okay. The problem is that my separation light will be in the shot if I get it closer to her. So I have to keep it back far away, and I have to ramp that light that much harder to afford that composition with the gears. Turn your face more into the light here like that. That's it, good. And hold it there. I mean, see? You're having fun, right? And by her doing that also brings the toe so it doesn't get cut by the 2x4. Eyes to me now, chin down. Good, we get the gear, that stupid gear, hold it there, hold it there. Like this one here, that's how she's looking in that direction.
Ah, got it, very nice. Wasn't that easy getting rid of the pink and the...
Oh wow, no, it's great.
But...
So go to 4.5, and that will bring the lights back down, and it's quicker than having to adjust the power of the lights. Yeah, just like that, very simple like that. Yeah, just to create the space between the legs. That's really all that I'm trying to do there. So we're doing the breakouts now. We've got 2 groups. We've got one group of 3 doing a 2-light setup, and then we have another group of 3 doing a 1-light setup. They're practicing the things that they're learning, and then in about half an hour we're going to do a switch over, and they'll switch the models so that they'll get to switch back and forth between the 2 different light setups. And that's a really effective way to do this, because it's all about practical application in the field. It's learning specific technical aspects about photography, and then it's going immediately after and then applying those things right here and now, so that there's just no loss. And that's where I think you're going to really retain the most. It's the best way to do it, bar none. What we got going on here? Let me see. My favorite part of using 2 lights is the fact that it's like well, wouldn't it be great if like the sun was just like really low and it was shining through the trees and creating this awesome look? And then I'm like, wait a minute, we can do that. Now you got to instruct her though. Now you got to practice finessing it. Heidi Klum was supposed to come. I had her on speed dial. I said, Heidi, I got this workshop. Where are you?
Dude,
bro.
What do you think?
Dude.
How's that 15 millimeters?
Dude, it's so sick. Back
you
it
think
up.
so, really?
When you shoot wide and you're straight on and your subject is standing straight, you get distortion there. It doesn't look that great, right? They're too tall and weird. The way you combat that is that you have lean out from the sill. Don't go back. Lean out more. Look at that, and that drops her hair. You gotta take care of her arm.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you don't crop the arm. You gotta manage the pose, but the light, the setup, the background, the hair, there it's all coming together. That's what you want. I tell you guys, I am making sure, bar none, that everybody is leaving today with a solid core understanding of how this stuff works. We are totally pulling back the curtains here. We're going over the camera settings. I'm on top of these guys, like front and center, to make sure that their cameras are set to what I'm doing, and I'm explaining the why. That's what it is. I'm taking the shots, I'm setting it up, I'm showing you guys what the settings are, I'm helping you with your camera to get your cameras dialed in, and then I'm explaining the why, and then you're going and doing the exact same thing yourself, and then you're asking me the questions on how to do the adjustments, how to make it better, and that's the practical application, and that's where the rubber hits the road, and all this stuff works. It makes a lot more sense.
Show me what it's all about. Just take the shot. Morning.
Just when you think you know about photography, you realize you don't know. There's a lot more that I learned today as far as
We're able to kind of go behind the scenes in terms of what Travis is thinking when he takes a photo shoot. We learned a lot about lighting, so it was a phenomenal experience for me.
Well, let me tell you something. This is probably one of the best workshops I've been to. Travis was an awesome teacher. But yeah, it was a great experience. I think it was awesome. I think that if you're watching this, this is definitely something that you want to experience.
And today was my really first time doing this workshop with him. And I really learned a lot.
Did Heidi Klum show up? She was supposed to be here by now. I mean, she got caught at the airport last time, and I figured.
Travis, what do you? I tried my best with it.
What are you waiting for?